Alright, so today we're talking about a lens that I bought because I wanted to test it out and see how it works on my Nikon Z system. This is the Viltrox 85mm F1.8, probably the most used focal length for portrait and street and landscape photography. I'm not sure, but an 85mm is probably a very demanded focal length for any photographer in the world, and that's why they're selling like hotcakes. I don't know if that comparison sounds good to you. Hey, what is good everyone, Chris here, welcome back to the channel. And like I said, today we're talking about this Viltrox lens. This is the 85mm f1.8 Z mount for Nikon mirrorless cameras, and it comes to supplement the S lens, the 85mm f1.8 S for Z mount, the original OM lens that Nikon produces, which is an amazing lens from what I've heard. But I bought this one because I want to test it and because it's cheaper, it's half the price. And it didn't look bad at all in the reviews and on any kind of media that I read about. And I wanted to test it for myself because that's what I'm doing on this channel, and tell you a few things about it. First of all, it's not a lens that you will probably write home about. It's an 85mm, pretty hefty, with a great metal design. The autofocus ring is smooth and it's actually buttery smooth, but it's definitely a focus by wire, so I'm not sure how good you're gonna feel by manual focusing this lens. I got used with this system and I can do it, but this focus by wire, it's not amazing. And especially for manual focusing, like pinpoint manual focusing at 1.8 85mm, it's a pretty long focal length, so it's not going to be easy to pinpoint the focus, especially on the eye or a like small object. Also, the lens has a 72mm front diameter, and he takes 72mm filters, and he does have a, I think, 0.13 magnification, which puts it under the original 85.8 S. I think that one is 0.12, something like that. So the magnification is not amazing, but it's over there in the average with other 85mm. Also, it does have 10 glass elements spread in 7 groups, which again is under the 85.8 S that has 12 elements, I think, in 8 groups, which means more glass. And the more glass, the more things to move inside. But if those elements are good glass and they're creating and they're recreating some parts of the light that you need to have in this focal length, then it makes it better. So I believe that that might not be a downside, but it's definitely a cheaper lens, so its construction is a little bit cheaper than the original one. It also has 9 aperture blades that creates a pretty pleasing bokeh. The bokeh balls are not amazing, nothing to write home about, but they're not extremely, let's say, onion ringed or bubble soaped. And they look pretty pleasing, a little bit crowded depending on the background, and the softness of the background, the blur is it's pretty good. I am pretty pleased for the money that you're paying with this one. Like I said, it's half the price of the original 85mm f1.8 S. The money that you're paying on this lens should tell the story because it's a cheaper lens, half the price than the original 85.8 S. And basically the quality is not split in half, so you're not getting half the quality, but you're getting less, let's say, features than the OM Z mount lens. I do enjoy the fact that it's built out of metal, so it's gonna hold a long time. I also love the fact that the focus ring is smooth, though I might not use it that much. In terms of what it has, another nice feature is the fact that you're gonna be able to upgrade this lens with the new firmware update that Viltrox are pretty much coming with them every, let's say, couple months, 4 months, it depends on the lens. But if something comes up, it's a bug that has been reported, they're gonna update the firmware on these lenses, and that's a great thing. The front element looks very nice. It's not perfectly flat, it's a bit bulbous, and that won't affect depending on the filter that you're putting. But I had an ND filter as well as a circular polarizer. I had an UV filter on. It didn't have any kind of problems, and I always recommend you to put a filter on these big lenses because they're easy to bump into all kinds of things and scratch the front element or ruin it. And that probably makes this lens more viable than the 85-1.8 because it's cheaper. So if something happens to it, you can go buy another one and pretty much match the price of only one lens, the original 85-1.8. It does have a metal mount, and there is no rubber gasket that I could see. So I'm not sure if this it's weather sealed in any way. But if your camera is weather sealed, that might help a little bit. Be careful though when you're going in the elements with things like this, because it might ruin your sensor or your camera. You don't even have to think about the lens because, like I said, the camera is more expensive and this lens is not super expensive. All in all, I believe that the 85mm F1.8 Z from Viltrox, it's a good addition to the lineup. I encountered one problem with this lens, actually two. One is the fact that the chromatic aberrations are not perfectly controlled, and there is a little bit of a flaring, though if you're using this tulip shape hood, you might take a little bit off the flare, but flaring is there, so if that's a problem for you, you should consider it. Also, I have a big problem with this hood and the lens itself. I'm not sure if it's just mine or they're all the same, but every time I'm trying to match this and put it on, there is you can hear this, and it doesn't lock. It almost locks. I'm not sure if it's just because the lens is, let's say, pretty new, like 3-4 months, but I hate that because to do this all the time and not be sure if I put it right, I'd rather not put it at all and maybe get a rubber hood or those that are collapsing. Anyway, this is the problem that it bothered me the most. Other than that, the lens is pretty good. And I'm going to show you a few samples at the end of this video. I probably showed you already during the video. So if you think that you can cut a little bit in the build quality, and if you think that the features that the 85-1.8 S Z mount, the original Nikon, it's a little bit too expensive for you, this is a great option. And I am a hoarder of Viltrox lenses. Like I said, I have like 4 or 5. I love them. They're good quality. The glass is not bad. They still need to work on coating. They need to work on you know, like small stuff, like all this the hood mechanism, and also some of them I heard that they have problems with the mount. But all in all, for half the price, you're getting a pretty good lens. I would say a lens comparable to the 85-1.8 S, and I'm talking about image quality because that's what matters to me. If the build quality, if the features, if the hype, and if the status matters to you, then get the S. This one is not built for you know, bragging. It's built to shoot images with, and I think it does a good job. So guys, thank you again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you who are not interested in Nikon gear, you can go ahead and watch other videos. We have plenty in the description below in the playlist. And I say you guys stay focused, have fun, have a beautiful December, and I will definitely see you in a bit.